This is a special edition. We went to Veecon episode.
Episode. Okay. Well, welcome to the special Veecon edition episode on the To Be Continued podcast, because life never stops, and we're gonna keep this in.
I'm your host Troy
And Rashid.
All right, let's get this started. We're not timing this episode. We're just gonna let it run. Just kind of give you guys stopping points. You want to listen back on it?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help on our own editing. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out, and you'll understand more about that when season 3 finally releases. Why this is a thing.
So I think we should start from the very beginning, though, because this is a story in the making that's over a year long at this point. I would say it's almost 2 years long.
Yeah, it's definitely a good 2 years, but there's a lot of jumping points, a lot of time skips throughout it, so it feels like it's forever.
We could definitely do a How I Met Your Mother like extended edition of we met a long time ago, and that's the very beginning.
Hi kids. Host Rashid here on the 2 Week 2 podcast.
It all started one day when Rashid was going to Lawrence Central /North /Mackenzie.
But no, we don't have to go that far back. We can stay down for another episode of some sort. A special, reunion, high school reunion throwback.
Oh man, that's when we have a special guest on the episode.
Yeah, a special guest that neither of us want.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that.
For the most optimal content.
But no, I would say this probably starts back right when I moved back to Indiana, because I obviously owed you a lot of money because we had moved to California together, but that's a whole separate journey.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
I started to do really well in crypto, so I was making a bunch of Ethereum, and this is back when Ethereum was like $600 a pop. I think it was just rising between like 400 and 600.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made a good amount, and I wish I'd never sold any of it or used any of it, but I had a bunch of life things, including, I was like, I'm just going to send you $1,000, which was like 2 Ethereum. I wanted to move out of my parents' house because we were there temporarily, and I wanted an apartment, and I paid a bunch of Ethereum for new furniture and shit.
Yeah.
But we had set you up with a wallet at my parents' house somewhere around like Thanksgiving-ish, October, Halloween-ish. I think it was somewhere in the fall.
It was somewhere in the fall, 100%, because I remember...
Or maybe even slightly before that I sent you the money.
But yeah, that's about when you sent it to me, because I know when I got it, when like the Chorus adventure really begins is definitely in the fall, because I know exactly where I was when it happened, when it all began.
I remember when it all started.
Yeah,
kids.
I remember when it all started.
That's the beginning of How I Met Your Mother episode. But so we had set you up. I think what we think happened was that I probably took a picture of your recovery phrase and just set you up with the wallet just really quick, because we're like, we don't have pen and paper or whatever. It was your first time setting up crypto, and I deleted that right afterwards because we're like, we're never gonna need this.
Yeah. And I didn't. I don't even remember, because nowadays they have you put in the recovery code afterwards to make sure you know what it was.
Yeah.
And I don't think they had that then.
It might not have been,
because I don't remember doing that.
Taking a picture, who knows?
This is all speculation. A lot of life has happened.
The point was, I sent you 2 Ethereum though.
Yeah, I got the Ethereum,
and through my Twitter handle, we've been doing some trades and stuff. You had invested in Core. And you had a couple bits of that and some other projects I don't really remember, but that one was probably the most profitable at the time, and that shit went from 600 to 10,000 or something.
Yeah, Core was doing pretty good, and it was the only one of this that I remember, because it was the only one of actual substance. There were a couple smaller things that we got in and got out. I mean,
there was hundreds of projects that I missed. For sure, there was Burger Coin that went from a penny to $10 or some shit that I didn't. Because it was too hard to get into the Binance Smart Chain at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember it was $1 each, and now they're $400.
Damn.
And I was like, I don't want to put too much effort into figuring this out. And that's when you should, because nobody else wants to either. That's when it's cheap. That's the lesson I took from that time. But I think shortly after that, in May, I want to say, is when VFriends was launching. And maybe the month before or 2 months before it was announced, and I was like, yo, like, we got to put into this. I know this is going to be like a thing. So I went ahead and bought one for myself and one for my wife.
Yeah.
And you were like the only person who actually listened to me. I was like, yeah, I got Ethereum still. So, because obviously I had sent you some.
Yeah.
So you bought into it, and that began the 1 year journey to Veecon, because we're going to go to Veecon.
Yeah, we're gonna at least go to the very first VCon, see what happens, see what craziness occurs. Because I remember I was at the storage unit place with my mom, helping her move some stuff into her storage unit when I like bought it, and I was like, oh, I just spent like $2,000 on a con ticket.
Yeah, they were expensive at the time. Half an ETH was $2,000. And you probably had like 1.5 ETH at the time or something.
Yeah. So I paid the half of ETH because I waited till later in that day for it to go down to 0.5 ETH. And I bought a wild wallaby.
I stuck with the profound possum in the beginning for sure. I didn't want it. Honestly, I really wanted some other ones, but I waited too long to buy. And that was what was left. So I wish I had been smarter about it and thought of like actually getting some character that mattered. But I was like, I'll just fucking stick it. I don't give a shit.
You just need something.
Yeah. I like the idea of profound anyways, whatever. But yeah, so that was the thing. And I think largely I kind of forgot about it for a while.
Yeah. This is every now and then there'd be like an update for like VCon or something. And you'd be like, hey... It's gonna be. They announced this person showing up. Or
yeah, like
they got this speaker.
I was very excited for the speakers, and I think for a while we were even like, what, like, who's gonna show up here? Like, they're gonna have like Barack Obama or like what? Yeah. And I think we were taking a very different direction than what it ended up being.
Yeah, definitely didn't see Barack. Barack should have swung by.
Year. They did say that.
Or you were there. And
they didn't want to go crazy this year.
They're just establishing, set foundation, and it was good.
So next year, maybe Barack Obama shows up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we got these tickets. You know, we're still trading other cryptos, making money, we're losing money, whatever. And I sold one of mine because I was like, I'm gonna flip it, right? Like, I think I sold for like a little over 3 ETH or something. I was like, it's gonna be like 10 grand right now. I'm gonna use it to invest in these other projects.
Yeah.
I think slowly that 10 ETH became less and less, and I cashed out probably like half of it or something. And I never got back into buying my second VFriend, which was unfortunate because I was like, well, fuck, maybe I'll just get lucky later in the year. But I know around election time that year, things had really started to slow down, so I wasn't seeing some crazy projects like just going nuts. Because I remember when I had sent you that money, everything was going nuts. I was like, didn't matter what the fuck I invested in. The next day, like 10 times more. I made $200 investment, made $2,000 that day. I was like, God damn, why am I fucking working?
Yeah.
Because I had a job at that time, and I was just like, I should just double or nothing. Just like 4 times, I'd have like $1 million or some shit. I never did it because that sounds super risky.
Yeah, it's super risky. Yeah, the whole family.
Yeah,
it's a little much, but
that was definitely the start of like that crypto boom, which is what 2020, 2021, something like that.
Yeah, about 2020.
And you know, I was really really happy that we got into the VFriends project because I knew it's gonna blow up at some point. I mean, going already from like half an ETH to 3 ETH is really good at that time. Nowadays, projects do that like nothing because it's so stupid. Everyone's got money or something. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone's got money.
I'm not gonna lie. Right now, there's a project that I saw at 1 ETH that is currently selling for like 10 ETH, and it's just the ugliest shit that I've ever seen. It has no real value behind it because like it's just hitting that little sweet spot of the internet. It's just been going up every day for the past week or two, and I'm just like, this is the dumbest crap I've ever seen. It's called Goblin Town. It's just really ugly goblins. And there's nothing behind it other than just like this culture of being stupid, I guess.
I don't know why, but that makes me think of like a Joe Cat video. There's like just varying Goblin Girls is like, oh man, I hope this doesn't awaken something in me.
Oh my god.
It did.
I think that's probably why people are buying it, because they're like, this is retarded. I want it.
Yeah, I was like, this. It's so dumb. So a lot of things that are drawn nowadays are pretty. They have their own art style, right? Their own distinct kind of look to them. And I guess if you want to look at these goblins, then I'm not going to stop you from looking at these goblins.
Yeah, I guess so. The crazy part is that was free to mint. Nobody paid for anything but gas. So whoever got that shit at the beginning just made like $15K for no reason. But, besides that point, some time passed with our V-Friends, obviously. There wasn't a whole lot. Speakers were announced. We're like, oh, this is pretty cool. I don't think like Pharrell or Seth Green had been announced or anything.
No,
but
I think
Logan Paul was pretty early.
It said Logan Paul had been announced.
Mila Kunis.
Yep.
Mila Kunis actually had a pretty good speaking segment at Veecon.
Mila Kunis is definitely my favorite speaker at Veecon.
I think she inspired both you and my wife to do an NFT project.
It was just a realization sort of situation going on that I guess we'll get into later when we actually talk about the event itself.
Yeah. We're still in the beginning. We're kind of hopping around everywhere, but those Mila Kunis, Logan Paul. I feel like Ashton Kutcher was announced, but he wasn't there at all.
I don't know if he was announced. I know we talked about him possibly being there because Mila Kunis was.
A lot of the speakers were, good names for sure, but I'm not sure all of them ended up making it because of like COVID reasons. The music people were announced were like, oh, these are all announced, so like, oh well, like that's what he wants to promote, that's fine.
Yeah.
We were kind of hoping there'd be some crazy bands, but yeah, it was a good time. So to say it was an underwhelm on some of the speakers was okay. We were constantly waiting for that announcement. We were talking about it for months. Where it's like, who's gonna be the bomb drop?
Yeah. When am I gonna get my Tesla?
Yeah, we're just like, Gary Vee's got to do something crazy, right? Yeah. He's got to give everyone a Tesla. This is the kind of hype we were getting into.
Everyone's gonna get a Tesla, or he's gonna give you the money equivalent of a Tesla.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shit.
He's like, he's not gonna let down 10,000 people or some crazy shit. He's gonna do something fantastic. And around this time, I would say the Christie's auction happened, where he started to auction off his original artworks that he had graded and shit. And the V-Friends exploded in price. I think they were up to like $100,000 minimum for even the cheapest one.
That's crazy.
And I remember we were talking like, should we fucking just sell these? Like,
yeah.
This is insane. Like right now, like I know it's probably worth like $250,000, but we should sell it. Probably.
I was like for when you like own things like houses or cars, and and you're paying those sort of things off, 100 G. That's a big dent in taking that way down, so that just becomes permanently yours. So you don't have to worry about that. So you start saving that money monthly on top of it, and it builds back up. And then you can reinvest that into more. If you want.
Honestly, if we were smart, we probably should have sold it, and then
we didn't know what we learned later.
And then just taking those investments to rebuy it back in. And we just like, this shit's gonna just keep going up, probably.
So. Because I was constantly thinking I should fucking sell this, but it kept
being told,
don't do it. So I just didn't.
I was just like bro, just hold.
Hold. We'll hold, and we set a number goal. We said if it ever hit this, then we'll sell.
We said for sure if it hits 250, like I don't care, we're out.
We'll sell. I was like, that pays off everything I own, and then still have additional money afterwards.
Which I mean, like if it had just kept going up, like. We would have sold, like just no doubt about it. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not worth this amount of money. $100,000, we're like, it's kind of on that borderline where we're like, it could keep going up, even if it goes down a little bit, it's okay.
Pay off my cars, pay off a good portion of my.
Because we were okay with it ranging between a 50 and 100. We're like, that's fine. Like that's not insane numbers. I mean, it's still really really good numbers, especially when we paid $2,000 for it. But it's not like a huge pressure to sell it at that point. We just have that risk tolerance. Not everyone would. I mean, people, if I was 18, I'd put $2,000 and it was worth 100. I wouldn't have thought twice about it. Like, I don't give a shit about this conference.
Especially because I wouldn't have nearly as many bills that I have now. Yeah. I'm like, dude, I can do whatever I want with this money.
Exactly. And so, that passes. Christie's auction hype goes down. It drops. I think it was ranging between like 60 and 80,000 for a while. So it's not like it dropped that crazy.
Yeah.
We're like, this is still holding good value. We're just gonna sell it after VCon. We still feel like it's good enough that we could go to VCon. And then disaster strikes shortly after that, I would say.
Yeah.
Because not a whole lot really happens between that auction and the disaster.
We just sort of sit on it because, there's not a lot of news coming out and such. Speakers will be announced every now and then. And I'm just like, I don't know who that is. Who cares? But yeah, then like February, couple of months before the big VCon event.
Yeah, it was definitely a couple months after Christie's. Things have cooled down, but still worth value, and a couple months before the actual event itself.
Yeah, because it was right after my vacation. Because I went on vacation the end of January, and when I got back, that's when everything started occurring that ruined everything.
It was definitely a shock to the system. We were just like, this is not good. It's not good at all. So why don't you go ahead and just let them know what happened. I mean, this is your story to tell, essentially.
Yeah. So I got back from vacation. Right, it was we went down to Florida for a week. Me and my mom and her fiance. And when we got back, I decided to upgrade my phone. This new phone that I've got right here. This one, the S22UW, whatever, ultra wide, because that's a thing now.
It's a good phone.
Good phone.
To be fair, you were using your phone a lot to play games, and it did needed a nice little upgrade.
It was unable to do so. It wasn't like forever old, but I couldn't talk on it. I had to always speak in speakerphone. It had a lot of terrible flaws to it over time, so I needed an upgrade. It was fine. They're running the special, so I went to upgrade my phone. I got there about 3 p.m. I was there until closing time at like 9 p.m. waiting for a transfer.
Yeah, because for some reason it just wasn't working. Yeah, it should have been done like 30 minutes.
It should have been done super quick. Just trying to transfer. It's not like I had anything on the phone. I take no pictures or videos of any sort.
You didn't think you had anything on the phone.
And then, I was very frustrated because it was taking forever. And they just kind of called me out that hour before and they're like, hey, your phone's in, come get it. I was like, all right. So I just drove over there. And, I mean, I had barely slept the night before. I checked, all of my stuff were on there, except he had changed it so that the apps hadn't transferred over. And I was like, we're closed. We're closed. So I gotta go. I was like, fuck, fine. And this is the one time where I actually trade in my phone because that was a part of the whole refund, additional thing that they were doing. I got home. It was about 10 p.m. after I'd finally eaten. And I was going through, I was re-downloading my apps, and I get to my wallet, and my notes, which had my recovery code, aren't in my phone anymore.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I panicked for a bit. I go searching through my house.
I wouldn't say a bit. I would say you panicked for a while.
I went for a bit. I searched throughout my house. I was looking at every single file I had. I was like, where's my codes? I know we got the codes. Where are they at? And I was checking my notes and I was trying my memos. I was trying to connect to the Samsung account and trying to figure all this stuff out, try to get into it. And it was about 4 a.m. And I was like, well, this isn't happening.
This is a good like 4 or 5 hours after you realize like you're about to go to bed. You told me you're like, what?
I was like, all right. I was like, I'm so fucking tired. Maybe I'll go to sleep and I'll magically wake up and it'll be better. Like I'll like have a dream of like my code or something, or I'll figure it out. And I didn't. So I was like, So I'm doing this thing as you guys, some of you should know if you've been paying attention to the podcast. If you haven't, go ahead and go back to season 2, watch the To Be Continued podcast, check us out on the Patreon, hit us up with wherever podcasts are podcasting, and you'll know that I'm doing a thing this entire year where I'm just
living in the moment.
Living in the moment. So when I woke up, I said, all right, I'm going to stop being upset about this. I'll look at it rationally. If I find it, I find it. If not, well, I guess I got to be okay with that.
And at this point, these are worth a little over $50,000. So this isn't a small mistake. This is like, what?
Yeah, it's a large sum of moolah, and at the time, but I'm Ted Lassoing it, mind of a goldfish, and just letting it go. I let the day play out. Like, I gotta see Troy on Monday anyway. The next day.
This is what, 2 days a day?
Yeah, because this happened Saturday night.
Yeah, and then I saw you Sunday, on Monday.
Yeah, so I just let Sunday go.
So you had a little bit of decompression time before I came over.
Yep.
And we were gonna shoot the podcast, and we're shooting the shit, and we're just talking beforehand. And I remember you're just like, yeah, so I got something to tell you. I was like, oh, okay, what's up, man? He was like, so I lost my V friend, and I was like, ha ha, that's funny. I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I did. I was like, yeah, come on, man. It's like, no, you didn't. And he's like, no, bro. Like, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, no, for real?
I was like, I can't get the wall anymore.
And I was just like, I remember I was just like, okay. And I was walking around, I was like, uh-huh. And just like slowly trying to like come to grips with that, because like, no, maybe, yeah, uh-huh. It was just like, okay, so yeah, so you've done these things, and you're like, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you tried this? Yep. It's like, it was one of those things where it's like, it took a minute for sure for me to like think about a different way to approach this, and I don't think we ended up recording that day.
No, we ended up not recording or anything that day. We were doing research instead, and then inevitably we went back down to the store to see if we could get the phone. So
I went and got my laptop, and I started downloading some things that would possibly be able to recover the data. This is like our last shot, really.
Yeah. Because
if they hadn't gotten rid of the phone yet, it's quite possible the way data works is that it's still on the phone. Even if it's factory reset, as long as it hasn't written over that particular bit of data, it's still technically there, just available to be rewritten on. So if it hasn't been written over, it's still there. You just can't see it, essentially. And we went and we plugged it in, and they're like, yeah, we got the phone and all that. So we plugged it in, and the program was working, but it wasn't an old enough phone. You had like the S7 or something, and it was like the S5 and F6 perfectly fine, could pull up the data.
Yeah, well, not this. It wasn't actually that day. We had to go back the next day because the manager wasn't there to go and get the phone. So we had to come back at a time the next day to do this, and we did.
Yep. And I explained to them how it worked and all that, and they're like, well, yeah, give it a shot.
I'm like, oh, cool. If you figure this out, tell us. So we'll pay you for this.
They're like, we'll call you back for other people, and you guys can like charge whatever. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working out because I'd have to root the phone or something, which would avoid some warranties and stuff, and technically it wasn't our phone anymore. So like, it's not like I could take it home or anything. That was kind of the end of that journey, and you're just like, well, we tried.
Yeah, we gave it. We taken all the avenues that we could think of at the time, and it was one of those things where I was telling my mom and her fiance about it, and he had gone through this kind of similar thing with like her phone because she had upgraded her phone. She went to Apple and such, and they're like, yeah, the like Samsung Notes, the S Notes, don't transfer over for some reason. He was able to transfer everything besides the notes. They wouldn't copy over, so he had to move them into different files and such. I was like, oh, I wish I fucking knew that beforehand. And then I've been researching things. They're like, yeah, they don't really transfer over, and no one had said anything about it. So I was like, well, if I wish anyone had said anything, then I would have taken some time and, thinking they would transfer over, I would have actually just written them down or copied the files or something. But I wasn't thinking about it. I hadn't had an upgraded phone in a while. I was pretty frustrated in the moment, so it fucked it up.
Yeah. So that really put a dent in our plans because at this point I'm the only one with a V friend.
Yeah. And I was fine with not going to Veecon.
Yeah, we kind of just stopped talking about it for a while. Because obviously I didn't want to bring up this thing that just like, well, fuck, we lost so much value. Because at the end of the day, he ended up paying $2,000 for it, or half an ETH that I had sent him. That like essentially he lost nothing.
No,
which is kind of how he came back around. He was like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll save $2,000 just to make the money back.
Yeah, that was your goal. You're just like, I'm just gonna make $2,000, and I'll feel like I haven't lost anything. It's not what it could have been, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Instead, I got a new roof.
Yeah. Instead, a lot of more debt, even more debt coming in, and even more debt coming in. Yeah. Unfortunately, houses are expensive.
Luckily, the insurance paid for that roof.
Yeah, but I ended up selling my V-Friend before Veecon to pay for all of us, because what we didn't know was that he was going to drop tickets instead of using the V-Friend NFT, because that was the whole thing. It was initially like you had to have this NFT to be your entry ticket, and I guess technical issues aside, he ended up pushing out tickets for as long as you held the V-Friend NFT. And so, obviously people could still hold on to V-Friend. They're selling their tickets fairly cheap. Mm-hmm. At this point, the V-Friend's probably worth like $20,000 or something. It's like, it dropped quite a bit, and it was disappointing for me. But I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell it. I'm gonna pay off a bunch of stuff. I think I ended up selling mine for like $15,000 or something a couple of weeks prior. I bought tickets for him. I bought a ticket for my wife. I had a ticket for myself that had airdropped. So I was like, we're going to Veecon. This journey that we started and fucking sold 2/3 of, we're here. We're doing it. I paid for the hotel. Literally, I paid for everything because I was like, we're doing this. I don't care. This is going to be the vacation that we're going to remember.
Yeah, it was. And there was it's just the idea of we could have sold when I was at the height, but we didn't know they were selling actual individual tickets later on, because we could have just bought the tickets later on. Absolutely. Would have been great.
The tickets, I think I bought yours at like 1,000 a piece, which was like 0.4 ETH at the time. So if we had both sold at like 20 ETH, easily could have afforded tons of things, and even bought back V-Friends when they dropped back under 10,
which would have been fine.
Yeah. But hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
If we had known that even the tickets were going to come out separately, we probably would have just sold at that point.
If I knew the tickets were going to come out separately, I would have just sold and then just bought a ticket for it. I didn't need a ticket for every single year. Just to decide whether or not I wanted to go.
Yeah. So I hope if we can make it to Veecon 2, we'll make it. If we can't, we went to Veecon 1. It's already a huge accomplishment. This is the longest I've ever held an NFT on purpose. 1,
baby.
It's definitely the hardest thing I've ever done. Just like watching it go up and down in value, but not selling at a good point. I was like, I gotta be patient. So we went. Like I said, I took the crypto money. I bought the hotel. We drove up there 9 hours. I had cashed out a bunch of it to pay for all of our food and shit. Yeah. And Veecon was probably properly rated. I mean, it definitely wasn't like over crazy hype, but it wasn't like the under. Like, there was definitely things for everybody.
Yeah, there's definitely something for everyone. It didn't, even though there were a bunch of people, it didn't feel like it was crowded.
Yeah.
Right? Because everywhere we kind of went, besides like when you're in a line, it didn't feel like you were constantly, I was bumping elbows with people everywhere I walked or anything. It was pretty open. I mean, it was nice.
So I would say we just kind of go through the days, really.
Yeah. In the next episode of the special, of the 2-part special of the To Be Continued podcast, Veecon Extravaganza. Unfortunately, that's good. No, we're gonna keep it going, no, guys.
This is where we would normally cut it off.
Yeah, normally we would have cut this off right now.
30 minutes is actually perfect for us.
Would have been a perfect cutoff for part 1 and part 2.
We're not gonna do a continued. This is gonna stay on Patreon. It's gonna be perfectly free because we want everyone to really know this journey.
Yeah.
This is how we're gonna do our special episodes. We do appreciate you if you do support our Patreon or you are on our Twitter or any of our platforms that you follow us. Consider throwing us $5 a month. It really helps out. We're starting a second channel called the To Be Continued Adventures, where we actually record some of these things. Whatever you give to us, we're gonna use. Like, we're gonna Mr. Beast this shit, and it's like every dollar is gonna pretty much pay for the podcast activities.
Oh yeah. The big times. That's correct. And if you got an extra V franc, go ahead and send it. Hit us up on the Patreon.
Look, I will say this. I have your Ethereum address saved.
Yeah.
If we can ever access it, that'd be amazing. But like, you'd have to brute force the password essentially, and we have no idea how you can do that because we don't have the original equipment. It's basically just the address, and we know it's just sitting there worth money at this point.
Yeah, it's just there.
So let's get into day one. We drop off my son at 7 a.m. at his daycare. His grandparents are going to pick him up, take care of him for the weekend, and we just start driving up to Minneapolis. It's a 9-10 hour drive.
Yep. I'd say with like the stops, getting gas, that sort of thing, like 10 hours. Because I think the drive itself is a little over 9.
I think the way up was actually totally fine. Except for the hailstorm.
Yeah, except for the hailstorm. The constant traffic accidents that cause, every time there's a traffic accident, it's like I'm driving.
Yeah, because we switched off. Every hour or two, we just switched off.
Yeah, because you don't want to drive that entire thing on your ass. Just change it up. But yeah, the hailstorm is definitely the biggest part near the end. Just people under bridges, stopping. The winds are crazy, barely any visibility. Hail was raining down, painful just punches upon the vehicle.
The thing is, it was hailing at the Veecon Avenue, and then it just came south along our road, essentially. And everything was fine until we got close, and all of a sudden we just hear wham, wham, wham. I'm like, all right, so this is just a little bit hail. It's gonna be just no dents in the car.
Yeah. And
then a little bit later on, it was baseball size hits. It felt like it was just wham, and we're like, oh shit, the glass might break.
And that shit was aiming right at me. I was driving. I was just keep going.
It was loud enough to be scared. People were pulling underneath the bridges. At one point, there was a bridge with people blocking the highway itself.
Yeah, they're blocking one of the lanes, so there's only one lane. And I was like...
We're just what is wrong with you guys?
I'm just going to keep driving.
You just pull over and get to the gas station or something. You don't need to block the actual highway. This is probably a good, 15, 20 minutes of driving through this. The intensity is probably only a couple minutes, but the hail overall is 15, 20 minutes. And we drove right through it. It was fine. So if you just keep driving,
yeah, I was if you just kept driving, eventually you just got out of it. But now they were just kind of stuck in it because they stopped.
Yeah, They were like, I just want to stay here. It was scary, like for sure. Like we were just like, this is like, should we pull over? Because if it got even bigger on the hill, like for sure it would have damaged the car, like dents and maybe broken something.
Suck.
But we kept going. We're like, we're just gonna make it to Veecon. That was like our number one goal. And so we got there. We made it to Minneapolis. We checked into our hotel. It was good, clear skies at that point.
Yep.
I think we may have taken a small, like 30-minute, hour break at most.
Yeah, we took a little break.
We got to settle in, just like stretch our legs. But we got a pretty good spot. We were at the courtyard around the corner, so it was like a 5-10 minute walk to actually getting to Veecon. We didn't need the car at any point other than when we were leaving.
Yep. Just parked it, forgot about it.
Which is great, because I didn't really want to drive around everywhere at that point.
Yeah.
I wanted to experience Minneapolis, and it turns out Minneapolis doesn't have anything to experience. City's pretty empty, only bars and shit, and we're just like, where's like the regular like quick casual shops and shit? And I think they just don't have that in downtown. I think that's just like on the other side of where we were.
We were just in the wrong area.
But we went to the welcome party, which was outside. It was really, really cool. Just huge giant concert thing. They were giving away like Liquid Death and some other products to taste test. We enjoyed it for the most part, but I think when we really enjoyed it is when we actually got into the ferocious art
That was cool.
exhibit experience. I don't really know what to call that. Like I think they called it like a paint along or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unfortunately, they were out of paint suits, or else we would have got the paint suits and
Yeah, that would have been cool.
draw on that and shit. But they had canvases there, and they had giant canvases that you could collab on. And we did our own little creations. We put the to be continued tag on some of them, so if they end up on the internet somewhere, you could probably see on there the @ToBeContinuedPod Twitter tag.
Yeah, which if you're not following us at the @ToBeContinuedPod, Twitter, and go ahead and do so. Just do it on your phone real quick.
Yeah, that's @2 the number 2 be continued pod.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be down in the description below.
Okay, so that was probably the highlight of that. We had a lot of fun doing that painting experience. I think after that we were just like,
DJ Steve.
Yeah, the initial DJ kind of sucked as far as his transitions go. Like initially we were like, oh, this is fine, but like switching between songs, you're like, he could do this better.
I was like, man, maybe I should DJ.
We didn't get in line for Gary B because that line was insane.
Yeah.
We saw him from afar. We're like, there he is. Cool.
I was like, that's his face.
We got our free Liquid Deaths and shit. And this was, again, the first day. So we were just like, we're just going to go.
Yeah, just a little before, the big event kind of, gathering.
Yeah, there's no NFT craziness. It was just like a party. And there was tons of other parties that same day that we didn't go to, but like we just want to go and like relax because we were driving all day.
Forget to sleep.
I think that night we actually went and got the Indian food, right?
Yeah, we went and got the Indian food because the upstairs they were closing the kitchen.
Yeah, we wanted to do Korean barbecue, but they were closing like 30 minutes or something. So we went downstairs to the Indian place. Fantastic food.
Great.
Really, really, super impressed. It wasn't even that expensive. It was less than $100 for the three of us. And this was like Michelin quality house. Everything except for my chai.
Yeah, everything except the chai.
Fantastic. I was just like, oh my god, this naan. Like you had some lamb, I think.
Yeah,
that was
I had
fantastic.
the lamb. That was great. And the spices were there.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this is good.
So we were having a good time, and then my chai comes out, and I if you know Indian food, chai is like a very specific drink that is highly spiced, cardamom, star anise, nutmeg, whatever. It's amazing. This was just like a black tea bag in milk, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
You had already given them like a compliment about their food and everything.
I even told the waiters, I was like, yo, dude, I worked in LA in a Michelin Indian restaurant. Like, this is fantastic, just as good. And then he brings that out, and I was like, this is dog water.
I was like, take that compliment back. I said, bring him over here and say, hey, I gotta revoke that compliment real quick. Bye.
The food, 100 out of 100. The chai, like 10 out of 100. I wouldn't even call it chai.
Oh, hey, the food, I'd go back there every day that entire time if we could have. Wanted to mix it up though.
Yeah, we wanted to do different experiences, and so like we were like having a good time that evening. We went back to the hotel, hit the hay, whatever.
Yep.
I don't even remember anymore after that because it was late.
Yeah, it was late.
Just went to sleep.
Basically went to bed afterwards because got to get up in the morning.
Was opening at 8 a.m. or whatever, right?
Yep.
I think that pretty much wraps up day one.
Yeah, that was day one. There's a lot of driving. Bomb ass Indian food. Some good paints.
Yeah. So it was a long day for us. But I'd say we all felt it was worth it once we were there. Day two, though. Day two was exciting because we were like, we gotta go on to Veecon.
Yeah, day two was first official day of Veecon in the U.S. Bank Stadium.
We got up. There's no breakfast in the hotel, but we didn't really care too much because there's breakfast at Veecon.
Yep.
We walk over there and we're like, all right, so we'll get in line, and there's we go to the front and there's a line and we're like, oh, okay, so we'll just keep walking along. This fucking line goes from the front of the bank stadium to like 80% around the bank. We could have gone to the end faster if we went the opposite way.
Yeah.
I was like, how is 10,000 people does not feel like this line should be this long. And that was like a max. I don't even think 10,000 people attended. It's probably 7,000.
I don't think 10,000 people actually showed up. It didn't feel like it, but who knows? It's a big stadium.
But we kept going. We're like, all right, so the end's gonna be around this corner. Nope. All right, so it's gonna be around. Nope, it's not around this corner. All right, so next corner. Nope. It was literally like 4 or 5 times. It wasn't a square building. It was so many turns.
But I mean, we got to the end eventually.
It was just one of those things where like, God dang, how late are we? We were like at 8 o'clock. Like,
yeah,
right when the doors open. And there were still people showing up after us too. And we were just like, who was number one? Who was here 4 or 5 a.m.?
It's on my spot.
I just thought it was insane. But getting inside was actually fairly easy.
Yeah, we'll buy a quick look.
Really impressed with the security. It only took 30 minutes. We were like, we're going to be in line for 2 hours. But the line moved fairly quick. So great job as far as security went. The biggest complaint. It was kind of raining. And then they took my umbrella.
That wasn't day one, though.
I'm just complaining about security in general right
now.
Oh,
okay, yeah, all right. That was kind of bullshit. It was kind of funny.
They were like, this umbrella's too big. You can't take it inside. And I just bought it at the gas station.
Yeah, we just bought it that morning at the gas station for 20 bucks.
Umbrella.
I was going to buy an umbrella, and I checked my weather. I was like, it's going to rain barely briefly. And then that's it for the entirety of the day. I was like, it's not really worth me buying an umbrella, so I didn't.
And it was just like, are you serious? We can't just bring it up. They're like, it's a weapon. It's like,
yeah,
it's stupid.
Take it back or give it up. And it was real dumb because it's not like they were holding it for you or anything. And it's on your way out, you could claim it.
Yeah,
it's gone now.
Yep. So that was the thing that really the only gripe I had was security. Otherwise, they were fantastic the whole time.
They were around.
We took some pictures. We're going in. Super, super impressed with the breakfast that they had because, God, this is one of the best free breakfasts I've ever had.
And there was no quantity control.
Yeah,
you just have as many as you wanted.
You pick up it was like burritos and sandwiches.
Yeah, they had breakfast burritos and breakfast sandwiches. They
these were good ones. These are hot with eggs and sausage and shit. They weren't just your generic bullshit.
Varying fruits. They had vegetarian options. They had croissants. They're just we got them. You can take them.
Push carts of juices and set up stations of coffee.
Me and what's her name were like, "Where's the coffee?"
It was so impressive because a lot of times that's the thing that's half-assed the most.
Yeah, because it's we have a bunch of people. We just need to put out a bunch of food.
Yeah,
that's edible for everyone. And
I was definitely expecting just a plate of bagels
Yeah,
Get, like,
I know
cream
it'd be
cheese or
normal.
something.
I know they had sausages like burrito or something. It'd just be small, compact, it'd be simple, and these are
This was a
big.
bad burrito.
I was like, oh shit, they're good, very good.
And then we went down, and we I don't think we went down right away, right? We walked around.
We walked around the entire place before we even get breakfast.
Of everyone else.
Yeah.
Because there's like NFTs everywhere. Gotta scan this. Gotta scan that.
We scanned a bunch of stuff to fix.
I kind of regret this because we went the right direction essentially to like get the pillows of the V-Friends before they were all stolen. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They put pillows there for people to use and just leave them there. And by the end of Veecon, those are all stolen. I kind of wish I'd taken one now. It's like I didn't think people would steal them. I thought they'd just leave them in the, like, couches to be used. That's
what I thought. I thought they were there for picture opportunities.
Yeah. So we didn't end up taking some of the physical goods, but we got a lot of the pictures early on and the free mints and stuff of collectibles that you were there.
Yeah.
And we did end up like getting some of the earlier mints in the NFT land because we didn't go down right away before those sold out. We got to see like Quarter Machine guys and stuff. The Kong's T-shirt we got. There's Subducks, World Woman Weapons.
Yeah, Women Weapons.
Lemonade. I want to say Lemonade.
Yeah, Lyrical Lemonade was there. If you guys have watched any Lyrical Lemonade videos, anything they've made, they're great. That was cool.
So we were among the first 100, 200 people to actually go and experience that and get some of the free shit before it was sold out. Creatures had a thing where they got a tote bag, which is awesome.
Yeah, they had tote bags.
We both failed at that, but somehow my wife got it, so we got the tote bag, which is awesome.
Yeah, those eyes.
Yeah, that shit was harder than I thought it was going to. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get this. It missed it completely. So then we went and got some breakfast. We went down to the platform. He had a Ferris wheel, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, it was just there.
There was like the baseball thing for candy that we never actually did, but I wanted to. It was just like hitting a bat, throwing a ball. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. That's why you guys can help fund us on the adventures to a batting cage.
Yeah, I mean, like,
and you show us up.
I'll do it for sure. Batting cage is fun, but I think at this point we kind of just like chilled out until it started.
Yeah, we sat down because we had our food and stuff, and the stage was open. The DJ, Miss Ninja, was DJing
the
that
best
time.
DJ of the weekend.
Yeah, was killing it on there, and we were waiting for the opening statements.
And obviously we all had a lot of fun at that point with the opening statements. Gary Vee came on stage. His imposters came on stage.
Yeah, version 2 and version 3 showed up.
You can kind of see a little bit of that on YouTube. I know he's posting just like a little clips that he had shot for his own channel.
I'm sure many people, probably you, have watched videos of you made or your friends.
If you were at Veecon, you might have seen us.
Yeah, it's like you probably out there with me. I work at Quarter Machine every now and then.
But of course, what we did after the initial like speaker or two, we headed over Quarter Machine because that was like our thing. It's like we're gonna mint and we're gonna win some Ethereum and gonna pay for everything and make some money back. And didn't happen.
Well, but it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened. To be fair, yes, it hasn't happened yet. We were in line for like 2 hours to be like one of the first 50 people, 100 people.
Yeah, we were like in the top. I think really it was 50. It just felt like a lot more because it just got really
they had
thick.
like a VIP group go first, and then they started letting the line in.
Yeah.
And so we waited like 2 hours just to mint. We initially did 3 on the first day, got a bunch of swag, which is super fun. Obviously, you're wearing the Quarter Machine hat, the Quarter Machine shirt.
Quarter Machine just give me a bunch of stuff. Like I said, I basically work at Quarter Machine now. I'm just waiting for my paycheck to come in, Quarter.
We ended up getting, I think, 2 floors lava and 1 fungi the first day.
Yep.
And, second day we went back, we did it again. And we got 2 more floors lava, which is really dope. I'm just a little upset we didn't do it on the third day because they Guy with this fucking sweet ass red and black jacket. That was like,
yeah, man. That jacket would have been nice.
The shoes that they had were like okay. They were just pure white. They apparently had like 20 pairs of shoes.
Oh, I would have taken those too.
Yeah, so you could have had a full outfit.
Yeah, like I just needed some pants or some shorts or something. I would have had a full quarter machine outfit. You guys, quarter machine, hit us up on the Patreon.
Yeah, if you have quarter machine shoes, let us know.
You know, hook us up. You know, I can rent the full quarter machine gear set. Get my bonuses.
But yeah, day one, a large part of our time was just walking around, quarter machine, printing NFTs, talking to people, seeing how it went. I don't think we listened to any speakers on the first day other than like the initial start.
Yeah, we had the initial start, and then we walked around a lot. There were like some speakers like on when like we'd stop to like eat food and such, but at the same time, after we kind of went around the initial day, because they were also like selling stuff and everything, we didn't really look too deep into that day, but like day 2 we did.
Yeah,
but that was day 1 was when I got to take my picture with Kevin Smith.
That's true. We were coming down for lunch after just checking stuff out in general, and he just happened to be at the bottom of the steps.
We just at the bottom of the steps, we look over, Kevin Smith next to the Ferris wheel,
and this guy was talking to Kevin Smith. He's like, "Oh, Kevin Smith, cool, blah 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 blah. Can I picture, blah blah blah?" And it's just like, when is he gonna wrap up, dude?
I was like,
stop talking to this guy.
I was okay. I was like, I'm okay because like you're telling like a kind of personal story about like how Kevin Smith like has influenced your life and like kind of helped you, sort of thing. I was like, I don't mind. It was running on a little long. Yeah. I was like, I just want a pick. I don't need a whole conversation with Kevin. I just wanted a pick. Just like, hey, what's up? Hey, cool.
Hey, respect people's times. Like, celebrities are people too. Like, you can't just reminisce for half an hour and expect them to be cool with it all the time. They may seem like they're cool with it, but like they can't do that with 10 fans in a row.
Yeah, he was on his way towards an exit door sort of thing, and it was like, I just wanted to pick.
Yeah. Just be respectful. Like, understand that they're people. That's all. Yeah. So, like, when he was done, we were like, hey, can we get a pic really quick? Just, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, just need a pic real quick.
Hey, we didn't expect this, but I was ready to take the picture. He was like, where's the camera? He takes it from my hands.
Give me that. I was like, oh, shit.
Like, selfie. We're doing this.
I was like, we gotta get this. I was like, okay. Jeez. We took a couple pics, a couple faces. You can... we can probably put all the pics that we put on the Patreon in just like a folder and stuff.
Yeah, we can do something.
So that way you guys can see all the pics and stuff that we took during the time there. Get a little taste of the experience there. And yeah, we took a pic. Yeah, we both made a joke or two at one another. Had a laugh and we're like, all right, thanks, man, peace.
Yeah, we kept it short, simple, like 5 minutes. Again, respect time. You got your up close photo. I was actually somehow in the background. We weren't expecting, but somehow the second photo
at the angle near the background.
Which is cool. It's one of those things that was on your list for sure. Yeah, it's like if I can check that box.
I was like, I want to listen to Mike Kunis. I want to be able to see Kevin Smith. Yeah, did everything I wanted to do.
The food was good. I think we went and took a break for a while. We came back and looked at some things, right?
I think we went and took a break. We came back for the concert, right?
Yeah. So we came back and we were eating dinner at Korean barbecue.
Yeah, we went to Korean barbecue place first.
It's so dumb expensive for Minneapolis. We were like, all right, it's gonna be expensive. It was like $200 for like almost nothing.
Yeah, man.
Which is, to be fair, like, it was a good experience. We enjoyed the food. It was just very expensive for what we're used to. In LA, it would cost us maybe like $50. In Indiana, maybe $120.
Yeah. We had 2 bottles though.
Yeah, we had 2 bottles of shoju we shared, and we had a couple drinks. And for a minute, you guys were like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, because you hit that moment. You hit that moment where. I was
ready.
Like, do we just go back to the?
I was ready to just like do whatever was necessary. Okay, I was like, I wanted to have some fun, so I had a couple of drinks. I don't normally drink, so my body reacts differently.
That's fine.
We went and had the concert. The concert was a blast the first day.
Yeah, the concert was nice. unfortunately, TLC or TCL, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
their
TLC
initials.
had COVID. They announced later. It's like Wyclef.
Yeah, Wyclef showed up instead. He'd flown Wyclef out and just do a bunch of like his hits and things that he had produced on and such. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
he's going crazy.
it was fun. Like they really did some good hits. And before Wyclef, I would say the unknown speakers, they had some good songs, but a lot of times the audio wasn't matched up. Like the sound guy wasn't doing them justice.
A lot of the music and songs that they were doing were all songs I was like, yeah, my mom would listen to this because she really likes like Meghan Trainor and those like sort of artists. And I was like, oh yeah, she would definitely listen to this. This is something that if it was on, I wouldn't like just turn it off.
Yeah. But yeah, day one wrapped up great.
At the pub, because we went to the pub after that.
Yeah, fuck, I forgot.
We went to the pub.
We went and started drinking some more.
Yeah, we went to the pub right next to the hotel right afterwards
I
because it
did
was
this
open.
on purpose. I got the hotel with food around it.
Yeah, because you don't have to, so yeah, we went there. We had some drinks. We did a Ted Lasso scene.
Yeah, we did our coach and Ted Lasso, and my wife was very confused for a minute.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We enjoyed staying up, having some drinks. I had half of a drink because I was so done. I was so full.
I drank the other half of it. It was very weird.
It was proper chai flavored cider. Unfortunately, I just couldn't appreciate it at that time.
Well, understandable.
I think we were easily there for over an hour and a half or something.
Yeah, we had a lot of drinks.
Head to bed, pretty late. I think they wrapped up Veecon at 9 o'clock.
I think that's when like the official thing is supposed to be over at 9.
So we probably hit the bed at like 11 or something, maybe midnight.
It was late.
It was just like one of those things where it was like, that was everything we wanted in day one, essentially. Day two, again, great breakfast and everything. Got in a lot faster.
Yep. We came a bit later, so
Yeah.
the line was already like moving and stuff, which is nice.
I think
People were recovering.
day two, we looked at some stuff initially, but we largely just went down, listened to some speakers.
Those are the speakers. We were in the fucking game room
Yeah, we were in the game room for a bit.
for a bit.
And look, again, the thing, I gotta come back to this. Respect people's time. Even like, I was just getting a little annoyed because we were playing some games, and I'd never played Rocket League before. And I just sat down, I just wanted to enjoy this experience. This guy comes over and is like, yo, bro, like, how you doing? Like, I want to hear about this experience of how I got a V-Friend and how I, like, met Gary V and how I got this thing signed. And I was like, bro, I don't give a shit about your flexing. I'm just trying to play Rocket League. And, like, I'm just one of those people that just, like, I don't care. If I'm obviously not reacting to you, walk away.
Yeah.
Don't just keep pushing. It's like, bro, like, respect people's boundaries. If I was interacting with you and you're like, hey, how'd you come to Veecon? It's like, oh, we started a story and shit.
Yeah.
That's fine. But this kid literally came over and was like, I'll crush you in Rocket League. It's like, it's my first time playing. I don't give a shit, I'll crush you. I was like, well, that's an instant turn off. So I was just like, immediately from the get-go, this guy was too aggressive.
Veecon is the first time he's interacted with human beings before.
And I know I pissed him off when I said the whole flexing thing, and I walked away to go play a game somewhere else. Because when we were playing Smash later, and he says something, as he's walking, I was like, it wasn't flexing, bro. I was like, all right, bro, cool.
Okay.
It's like, you came up to me, and then you're salty that I said something. Okay.
It was whatever. And
I'm one of those people that's just gonna remember that shit because it's like I was minding my own business.
yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you were just playing a game. It was fun. I mean, they had a lot of games. They had a lot of, I think it was Gala Games. It was running the entirety of the games thing because they had their own games.
They had some fun games.
They had their own games they had been working on that they were like showcasing demos for, and they were pretty cool. They had like spider tanks, so that was nice.
Yeah, I tried out the spider tanks, Smash and Rocket
potential.
League. I wanted to play like some other games, but I didn't see them. I think other people are using those screens because not every game was on every screen. There were different platforms.
Yeah, and I talked to some guy who played Smash professionally and stuff. I was like, hey, show me some basics.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was I was just talking to him. He was like, yeah, I go around and I do Smash tournaments and stuff. I was like, yeah. I was like, show me how to play Terry. He was like, Terry's not like a standard pick or anything. Yeah. I can show you basics for this general thing. I was like, yeah, let's do that.
He's like, I'm not proficient at every character.
I was like, I'm more of like a NES player. I was like, yeah, that makes sense if you play professionally. And yeah, that was cool. Then we switched to some like DBZ like fighting games because I guess there was a bunch of games. I played some Halo Infinite for the first time on controller, which I don't like. Just in general, I don't play a lot of console games.
More of a PC kind of player
group. I used to be really big into controllers, and then I just stopped playing consoles kind of in general once we got PCs.
Why buy a $500 console when I could just buy a PC and never upgrade again?
Yeah, it's like I play primarily on PC. Nothing against consoles. There's some games on consoles that are like only on them, and it's fine, and I'll play those. But I don't when I can play it on the PC.
Yeah, if you're looking for an exclusive, console's totally fine. Buy a Wii Switch or Nintendo Switch. It's fine.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch is a fun family thing that you can take on the go with you, and Nintendo games never depreciate in value.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I think it was right after the games where we're like, let's go get lunch. Let's go on that journey to lunch.
So we had some time before like Mila Kunis was gonna speak, and we knew we had to be back for that.
Yeah, I had to be back for that. We wanted to be there for the speakers
you
before.
You thought we were gonna go to the pizza place.
Yeah, I thought we were just go to the pizzeria that was right over there, because we constantly got going by it, and we kind of going, man. Every time I see pizzeria, I kind of just
we never ended up eating that pizza.
Never went.
We just like just walk into downtown. There's gotta be something in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah,
nothing. Everything's closed. Some things are Monday through Friday, only like 4 hours at a time. It was just like, what is this city? Like, who's here? Like, who's working here?
How's it fun in this place?
Are these empty buildings? Are these just apartments? It was so mind-boggling. We asked someone who like lived there, and they're like, "Oh, I just moved here. I don't know." I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
After walking what felt like an hour, we got to a place that said, "Oh, we're actually closed." And then we got to another place right next door. Just fucking eat at this other place. We open at 5. It's like, all right, I'm done. And it was so stupid. We were just so frustrated.
Yeah.
With Minneapolis being like, there's nothing to eat.
No, Sarah.
There's no even like mall or shop that's obvious. It's like you'd have to spend time to really get to know downtown to know where you're gonna go. But you would think around the Bank Stadium there'd be food of some sort.
Yeah, wasn't.
Yeah. So we ended up taking an Uber just across the downtown area. So we're like, we're not walking back.
Just to get back to where we started.
And I think that was like $20 on its own, just for like a 5-minute ride.
And we just went back inside to eat inside of where we began.
Yeah, which is kind of like upsetting, but we ended up sitting down, listening to speakers. You and I, afterwards, we were talking. We're excited to start an NFT project. We're not going to really tell you about it now because we got to put a lot of work into it. Yeah. It's revolving your high school scripts and characters because you had a lot that you were into, and we still have a lot of that documents, and we want to do something with it. We were inspired. You and my wife were inspired by Mila Kunis, the guy who created Cool Cats. I can't remember the other speakers, but
you want to listen to Beeple?
I didn't end up listening to Beeple because I wasn't expecting this, but after those speakers, we went up to go check if we want some ledgers.
I mean, we listened to some of Beeple. We got most of his things.
Yeah, we were just having to be in line for Gary Vee at that point. Because my wife had just gotten in line after listening to some speakers, and we weren't expecting her to.
Yeah, she was just in line. We went back and we're like, where'd you go?
Yeah.
Because we went and got ice cream.
Yeah, we went and got ice cream. And the line was right next to the stadium. The stage.
The stage, yeah.
So the sound wasn't coming to us. So we couldn't really get everything they were saying. Mm-hmm. But they were definitely talking about some interesting things about like making stuff and suddenly becoming famous and like these value of NFTs and stuff. It was really really cool. I don't remember too much, or else I'd get a little bit more into detail. But We ended up getting the photo, just me and my wife. You went back to the hotel at that point. You're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Day 2 is definitely a lot less, like a little underwhelming because we weren't looking at things. We were listening to people, which we still got good content from day 2.
Yeah.
It just wasn't as exciting as, oh, go here, go here, go here, go here.
You don't have that day 1 kind of newness to everything. We literally gone to every single thing we could go to on day 1. Day 2, like I said, we looked at a bunch of stuff. We went originally and kind of looked at all the varying like comic books and consoles and the like V-Friend like cards from the drawings and all of that were all at what they were selling and things.
I almost bought a $600 Charizard, but one of the other vendors like, I want to do it. They're probably fake, honestly. I was like, okay. Because this is like a bent first edition base set Charizard. And I was like, ooh, that's tempting. It's like it was clearly damaged. That's why it was like $600. Mm-hmm. If I got it graded, it'd be worth a good fair amount. The guy was like, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
So like a lot had happened, but it's also slightly underwhelming. So you went back. I got the photo. They unfortunately, so you weren't there, right?
Yeah.
I was in line, and as we were moving, these ledgers were being released for Veecon Special Edition V-Friends Ledger. And I was like, I want one. And both of us did not win the raffle. Yeah. There was only like 2,000 people entered. You basically had a 25-30% chance to win because there's 555 winners. Mm-hmm. Somehow we both didn't win.
And you didn't win.
While I was in line, I was deep in the Twitter and the Discord for V-Friends, being like, anyone got this ledger? Like, I'll pay for it, whatever. And I was offering like half an ETH, right, which is $1,000. I was like, 10 different people reply and stuff, and they're like, yeah, never mind. I just left the stadium. Can you meet me tomorrow? I'll pick it up then. This, that, or another. I was like, God, forget it, right? And so like I was going from like 20% battery down to like 5%. Like I was like, this deal's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because my phone is where my Ethereum was.
Yeah.
I got like 3%. I got a guy who's in line, getting ready to get his signed by Gary Vee. That says he'll sell it to me for 0.6 if signed or 0.5 if not signed. Because they were allowing some people to sign, some people not to sign, which is really annoying. So he doesn't get it signed. He meets me in line. I'm at 1% battery. And I'm like, bro, you got it? And I was like, cool, let me see. It's like sealed. And I was like, nice. Bring up your QR code. So just do it really fast because I'm at 1% battery.
Yeah.
I send it over. Phone dies. Like 10 seconds later, I can't confirm it. He confirms on his phone. I was like, thank God you got it. He hands me the ledger. This was like an hour of being in line already. Just like, somebody's giving me this fucking ledger. So I'm like, I wanted one so bad for the collectability, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna flip it later.
Yeah.
But I knew it was worth at least $1,000 initially. Ledgers are about 1 to 150, so exclusive V-Friends one could easily be worth $1,000. In the future, it could be probably worth $5,000. I don't even know. A lot of people are looking for about half an ETH for them anyways, or V-Friend Series 2, which is about 0.6. The guy that was like 12 people ahead of me had one as well. Had opened his to get his signed by Gary Vee. Gets it signed. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So maybe I have a shot, right? Because he is signing like here and there.
No.
When we get up there, they're like, no, I can't get this time. We got to get the line moving. I was like, fuck you. I was like, oh, are you serious? So I don't end up getting mine signed, unfortunately. But it was cool. Saw him, got the picture. They ended up taking a video with the phone and not a picture, which we can take pictures in video, so it's fine. But it was just kind of weird.
Yeah, you can watch that video on the Patreon so when you go and see all the Veecons.
Might upload that as well.
We'll put it all just like in a folder, so then just like they can just go into it.
My wife like pauses to ask him a question about the business and like how to expand and stuff, and he's like, "It's not about the business; it's about being happy." I was like, "All right, cool."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I've seen a lot of his content, so like I was expecting that kind of answer. And that's for my bakery business overall. And we head back. I don't think we went to the concert that night, right?
I don't think I did. I know I didn't because I went down to have a drink and dinner at the pub. I just went there.
We had a drink and dinner, and we also went and used the exercise room at some point during that day. I went swimming. You went exercising.
Yep.
And then I think
it was day one.
Was that day one?
No, it was the first official Veecon day.
We did that day one?
Yeah. Because when you guys were in line, that was Veecon official day 2.
So yeah, that was day one. Day 2, we came back. I think we met you at the pub at that point.
Because I texted you to let you guys know I was down there,
yeah,
not in the hotel room.
Really, really nice bartender. Really, really nice pub. I wish I knew what the place was called, so we give him a shout out. My phone is recording this, so I can't actually pull it up.
We'll figure it out. We'll put it down in the description. Give you guys a shout out
down. But it's right next to the courtyard in Minneapolis by the highway / bank stand, whatever.
Yeah.
So you could easily look it up. Really, really cool bartender. We were just kind of sitting, chatting, getting some wings, getting some I got poutine. You got some nachos.
Yeah, I had some slow roasted pork nachos.
I got you some Japanese whiskey.
Yeah, we had a lot of drinks and stuff. I talked to this guy Raul.
Yeah,
next to me the whole time.
Tell Raul's story.
Yeah, so I talked to Raul. Raul had just kind of got into NFTs and that entire space 6 weeks from prior to actually coming to Veecon and such. Because it's something I guess he had heard about, he knew a little bit about, and was seeing that it was taking off, wanted to become more involved. So he got more involved. He got tickets. He has his own podcast. I don't remember what the podcast is called, but I know he's had.
It'll be the link down below.
Yeah, it'll be down below. You can shout out to Raul's podcast. I got this information. We swapped info. But yeah, he had Gary Vee on the podcast. I'm assuming I don't know what they talked about. If I'm gonna watch an episode of a podcast, I guess I'll watch that one only because I owe you. If you're watching this, Raul, you better be watching podcasts because I know you know what it is because we talked about it and you said you watch it, so you better watch this episode, especially this one because you're in it. But yeah, it was cool. We shot a lot of shit. While we were watching the game. The basketball, I don't remember who was playing. Someone was getting blown out. It's not the Suns. But it was cool. And he's doing a lot of things. He's telling me about possibly getting more into NFTs or, about a project he wants to work on, which obviously I'm not going to talk about. But yeah, it was a nice experience. And, he had a flight that morning, so we headed out. We swapped info, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really good night, honestly. We had more drinks. We had a bunch of food.
Yeah, drinks, food.
Bartender's really cool. We asked him to make me a cocktail, and he said, we don't have anything to make anything because I didn't put in the orders.
Yeah.
It's all right, bro. Which just kind of sucks. He did try, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. It tasted like a manly mimosa. It was like maple and bourbon mimosa, basically. Yeah. So it was cool. I paid for everything. He even took some stuff off because I was paying for everything for all of us again. And we just kind of hit the head from there.
Yeah.
Last day, we showed up. It was pretty easy to get through. They had a special breakfast with bagels and shit and eggs and granola. It took us a minute to find it because we were very confused.
Didn't really know where to go.
It wasn't in the beginning. It wasn't on the floor. It was in this special area.
I still would have preferred the breakfasts we were having.
I think the burritos were still better.
Were still better than going through the lines.
The thing was with that one is that the one thing we didn't actually get in line for was they were making special pancakes.
It would take too long.
Yeah, they had 6-7 people drawing pancakes with colors and shit of NFTs, and it looked really dope. And you can find them on Twitter, but unfortunately, we didn't have time. We were we got to drive back today. Yep. We don't want to be at Veecon all day because we know it's pretty short. There's nobody that we particularly want to hear. So we said, we're going to go to Mall of America today. Someplace my wife really wanted to go. Mall of America was fucking massive.
Yeah, God, giant.
We probably saw maybe like 20% of it in like an hour, 2 hours that we were there.
Man, the place is huge.
It has an amusement park in the middle of it.
It is built in.
There's a bunch of like food shops that you can't see in a lot of other places, like the cake bake shop, I think it was called.
The cake bake shop. The Wahlburger.
Wahlburger. They had like
Marky Mark was not there, unfortunately.
They had a place advertising a casino.
Yeah.
Tons of different toy shops. Tons of different like M&M store.
Yep.
We stopped at GameStop and got a Nintendo Switch game for the drive back.
Someone kept trying to tell me that like the My Hero 1 Justice game was good. I was like, it's not.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, this part about it's good. This part's about it good. And you're like, but the actual gameplay.
Yeah, but the actual gameplay of those type of fighting games aren't good. That's why you don't talk about them.
It's kind of. I mean, there's a lot of Switch games, and none of them really felt like great. And we didn't really do a ton of research ahead of time to buy one either. We ended up getting Super Mario Party because we're like, yeah, we could play this easily, like multiple times. And we had a good time just walking around looking at things. You got your magnet for the state.
Yeah, magnet for the state magnet. For not me, I don't collect magnets.
And then we just drove back. We got back. On our way back, we took a picture of the pink elephant.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. We wasn't expecting that. We just stopped and it was like, hey, the gas station's got a massive pink elephant.
Pink elephant. That's why I stopped. I knew. I just didn't know I knew at the time.
The only thing, again, that we regret is that we didn't go to a quarter machine that day and get that jacket. Get those shoes.
Didn't get the shoes. Didn't get the fact that, like, everything expensive was, like, still in there.
Yeah, everything was going from, like, 1% to, like, 10% chance you could actually get something really good. But I already burned, like, 1.25 ETH. Yeah. We had done 5 times. I was like, I can't justify spending more ETH on this.
Yeah, man.
And that's a lot of money. Now that I know about the Floors Lava project more, I might actually make some of that back over time. Which I really like the guys. I will say Floors Lava, the Quarter Machine group, fantastic people. Very, very friendly. I believe that Sean Doris is a celebrity name attached to that.
Nope.
But even the regular crew guys were just fantastic. Really, really kind.
Yeah, if you're out there watching this, Floors Lava, and you're in the Discord, go crazy in the Discord right now. You guys, come on, go crazy in the Discord.
Yeah, great guys. And their Discord is even very friendly too. I still chat in there. I was chatting there last night, maybe even a little bit this morning. But yeah, I think we got back around like 11, 12. It really wasn't an eventful drive back. We were just all kind of tired.
Yeah.
Wanted to get home.
Well, the biggest event that happened during the drive back, besides the pink elephant, of course, which was awesome, was the idea that Gary Vee had hit out more gift codes to get more shares to the special.
Oh, yeah.
Veecon.
So there's a Veecon.
The Veecon Viper.
Yeah, that was on Rally, so you can like buy like stocks of it.
Yeah.
And he gave everyone one initially.
Yeah, $5 to buy one share, because it's $5 a share.
And he had tweeted out or emailed or something a code for 5 more shares, essentially.
Yeah, an extra $25 gift card.
Not everyone claimed it. So he's like, well, we have a bunch of shares left, so let's just give it away.
Yeah.
And I think this is, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour left in the drive. You were driving. I was driving. I didn't know about it because we had just switched off. And I was like, oh, look at this. This just came up.
Yeah, we had just left the pink elephant right when you're like, oh, so you guys, got your code. You got your $25, you got your extra shares.
And I was like, you'll have time.
Yeah.
By the time we get back.
Gotta stop listening to Troy.
By the time we get back to your house, because you dropped off first, it was sold out. So
yeah, sold out.
You have to use that credit on something else.
So yeah, I think I can actually check exactly what I put the $25 towards, because I put it towards something else.
Another thing that they did, though, they gave away free Chipotle entrees in their app, because Chipotle was one of the sponsors, but they didn't do any food, which was kind of weird.
Yeah, they did like recharge stations. And
everyone between the three of us at least, we were like, why didn't Chipotle like just bring Chipotle?
Yeah, that would have been
I guess
normal.
They're like, oh, we'll just send out codes afterwards. So free Chipotle for anyone who attended. It's awesome. I've definitely used my code already.
I have not been over there.
But really, really cool. We all had a good time. I went and picked up my son and hit the hay and just resumed life. But it was a fantastic 4-day weekend, even with the drive.
Moonbird.
Oh, you invested in the Moonbird?
I invested in the Moonbird.
Moonbird's a long-term project. It could go up. It could go down a little bit. But I see Moonbird as like another VFriends. So who knows? We'll see if that $25 in Moonbird turns into $50 or $100.
Yeah, it was like $5 a share and everything, and I bought just 5 because it's one of those things where I was looking at a bunch of it. Yeah, Moonbird.
Nice. Oh, it's only $60K.
Yeah.
Dude, I saw Moonbirds when they launched, and I was like, I should probably get one at like 3. And then Gary Vee tweeted about it at like 6. I was like, I didn't have enough ETH to buy it. And then it goes up to like 30. I'm like, God, why do I not have enough ETH to just buy these projects?
Damn it. Not again.
I see everything before it spikes, and I just don't have the ETH to buy it. I'm just like, oh, I hate this. But, that was our Veecon experience. You have anything else to add? I think we pretty much covered everything.
No. We went day by day, right? The Veecon Sin, when I got home, I think I had some food. Cause it
was like close to midnight.
Yeah, it was like close to midnight. I had like a snack. And then I ultimately went to bed because I was late.
Yeah, it was super late. I remember I crashed when I got home. But it's a good time. I don't think we regret the journey we went on, even if we lost money out overall. I mean, obviously the money would be nice.
Yeah.
But
hopefully
just go at all.
We can make all that money back. You guys invest in the project when it happens. Right? You'll hear little details over the course of the
We'll launch our own NFT project because of Veecon. It makes us millionaires.
And you guys can be a part of it. You guys will have first dibs over in the Patreon. That's why you subscribe to the Patreon.
Maybe we'll actually have to start a Discord for our Patreon.
Yeah, we would probably have to just actually have a Discord and stuff because I do want a lot of community involvement and stuff. So it'll be cool.
So thanks for following us on this journey, guys. Make sure you subscribe to our Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, any audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're finally on there.
Yep.
Figure that shit out. Patreon is obviously be nicest, but no worries. We release free content, and then we have extra content on Patreon. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah. Take it easy.